Hi, welcome to the introduction to Nine Candles, and I'm introducing it with my very bestest friend ever, Danny Shay. And
Hey,
hey, and Danny's been through, I think, almost all the Nine Candles, haven't you?
I think so.
I think so. And
Yeah.
what I'm going to show you first, and then we'll come back to Danny and what he wants to say about Nine Candles. These are the
Hmm.
nine candles. And this time, one show I did, I set up nine candles and I was in it 5 days before somebody wrote me and said, there's only eight candles there. We're only human.
Picky, picky, picky.
Picky. I mean, and in the middle of my candles, I always have a crystal. And this is a piece of rose quartz. And the reason I chose rose quartz is the meditation on rose quartz is I open my heart to love, healing, compassion, and peace. And that's what the
Mm.
unification of the nine candles is going to be. Each day, the first day we light one candle. This is the first candle. And then we go around and you say, those candles have little wicks. They've already been lit. Yes. A lot of the readings are done. I only have two readings left to do to meet with readers, except for Danny. And anyway, what we do is we light them each day, one, then two, then three, and finally you just have a wall of light around the rose quartz. We talk about the power of Jupiter and Venus being together now, and you you'd be amazed how starting with one and going around and doing the discipline of doing it for 9 days, what a difference that makes in how we move forward. So
Hmm.
do you have any questions about what's on the, see what's here?
Me, I don't.
See that?
There's somebody in the audience that does right now. I hear them, but I
No,
don't. I'm
that
good.
little flower that was done by Danny's wife, and I have it on. It's a crystal
Oh, cool. I can't
jewelry.
see it because it's little, but awesome.
Yeah, oh, you're looking at a little thing. Okay. Well, that little flower thing is from Danny's wife, painted a rock and sent it to me when I did the garden. So I could have a flower in my garden besides just rocks.
Yay. Yay.
So, how are you doing, Mr. Shea?
I am excellent. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be part of this once again
Mm-hmm.
because I think these are so important that we just drop into a different energy that is being presented and is flowing that sometimes we don't pay attention to. So it helps us reconfigure and realign ourselves to just other aspects and take it deeper than just, hey, we got Jupiter and Venus doing their thing. And so, well, let's really drop into it and pay attention and get some deeper seated information that could come from this.
Do you have some cards that could possibly help us with that?
Possibly. Hmm. So the first card that I pulled three cards. And this is something that I have been talking about, I don't know, for like months, 6 months
Mm-hmm.
or year. I don't know. We are stepping into a new awareness. And the first card that I get is the initiation.
Mm-hmm.
And we're walking out of the cave. We are going out into the light. This calls the rite of passage, crossing the threshold. So we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We can see our path forward out of this
Mm-hmm.
safety, out of this whatever we think it is, and we're stepping out. The next card I pulled is Breaking the Chain, which is dropping ancestral patterns,
Mm-hmm.
healing, and the last thing, rewriting the future.
That's right.
So as we get stuck in our little cave here, thinking nothing's going to change, it's all dark. I see that little opening out there, but that's out there. I'm in here. Nothing's going to change. We get to rewrite our future by our internal voice. So when we step out, we are into the light, then we go, oh, I don't want to live in fear anymore. I want
Mhm.
to live in abundance, in love, and compassion. That's going to rewrite our future. And as we step out of this cave, guess what we find? We find, I don't know, there we go, the great gathering. And this says it's all coming together, intuitive hits. But the big thing that pops for me is our soul tribe.
Right.
So as more and more of us come together and speak in a compassionate voice and speak in unity, with empathy, that that our tribe amplifies that resonance, and it just gets bigger and bigger and opens up a whole new world.
That's right.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Well, for those of you who haven't been around this before, 9 candles is an old tradition in feng shui. And they would use the energy of the candles to build the energy of what they want to create. So, one of the things I talk about is on the 9th of June, if you go out just at sunset, you'll be able to see Jupiter and Venus together in the sky. You can actually, it's not like we can draw it on a little chart, you can look at it on your computer. It's really there. And I think that makes a lot of difference in how people
Mhm.
react to this. And Jupiter's whispering down to us, expand beyond fear, dream larger, trust the path that's opening before you. And that goes with all the images you just handed to us. And
Yeah.
Venus whispers, open your heart, receive beauty, allow love and kindness to flow freely. And then when they can combine their energy together, you let that energy come through you, through your heart first, so it softens all worries, and through your whole body to awaken hope. And let this light shine through your body, through your mind for clarity, through your spirit for faith, through your hands for creation, and into your future for possibilities. And Danny and I did a show 4 years ago. We did it Lionsgate, 88 Lionsgate.
No, no, it was 4.625 years ago.
Okay, but it's close. We were at Lionsgate, which is 88, and Danny or something. It was 88, and Danny and I both had the same vision separately, and we talked about doing a show together. We both saw a line of people, just all of humanity kind of walking along, and they hit a point in the road, and there was a fork in the road, and they had to pick which direction to go in. And for a while, you could actually reach over and talk to and touch the people in the other line. But then there's eventually going to become a line where the lines were too far apart. And that there would have to be real structural changes for us to be able to come back together. And, I've thought about that. And at that point, we kind of do what readers do. It's all we can tell you. You have to figure the rest out. But we've been through that, and I often think of those people trudging along in the lines and deciding which direction they wanted to go and choosing light. And I think now we're now trudging out of the cave. And I love that
Yeah,
image you had of when people are gathered together. Those almost look like the stone circles in England.
yeah,
Hmm.
right,
And
right.
that's what some people believe the stone circles were to represent, the energy that they wanted to lock, they were pulling from the ground and wanted to bring up.
Yeah. I think that we're in this time where we have been faced with such fear and anxiety, And now we're figuring out that that doesn't help.
No.
That doesn't solve anything except gets us a little anxious and makes our stomach hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So when we let that go, not that we ignore things that are going on, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't carry it with us
Right.
for days upon days upon days. Um, then we move we're able to move into more of a love and compassionate state, even
Mm-hmm.
though some of these things we don't like that's going on in the world, but we can fix them from a different point of view than fear and anxiety.
Right. And if you ever read the book The Secret, or saw the video of The Secret, or understand it, it's people who say, well, how can I manifest? Well, the first thing we tell them is to plant that image in your mind and just have it like really just like a little thing out in front of your head and imagine on it and to think about it all day long. Well, um, there was a movie John Carpenter made that I just became aware of. It's called They Live, and you can actually get it on YouTube's movies. And in the movie, these guys, when they put their big sunglasses on, they can see all of the way they're being manipulated. This was done in 1986. This movie was made. And the last scene of the movie is the two guys who have followed all this manipulation for all this time. They walk into a room full of what we would call the power elite, and they're sitting there saying, "And who could imagine that we could have created this entire misunderstanding within the general populace by 2025?" That's what froze
Ha,
me. I went, "Oh, wait a minute."
ha, ha. Yeah,
And what we need to do is to understand the power base is in our numbers, and the power base is in each of us. We won't all have the same intention for good things, but we have intentions for good things and for things that are positive and things that enlighten and things that are Jupiterian or Venusian, good things, positive things. And
yeah.
Lord knows this,
And
Mhm.
there's a yin and yang with that too. So it's what because when I think about just all the good things, you have to have both, but it's
Mhm.
got to be balanced, and it can't be as I struggle with trying to make sense out of our world, but there is a balance that is needed with the shadow and the light side. And so
Mhm.
you can't ignore the shadow, but you can. I think that we've been paying so much attention to the shadow that we have to bring it back to the light, maybe a little
Mhm.
heavier, and then it'll settle and balance out. So it's just not all lovey-dovey and roses, but we need to focus on that more, especially at this time for nine candles.
Mhm. And that's so if you want to join us, we start tomorrow night. It's going to be premiere at 7. This show is also premiere at 7, and it's how to guide you through the 9 candles. That's what we're doing. Then we're going to be there every night with different readers. I've got people who are house healers. I have, you know, typical when you think of a reader, who a reader is, and I have channels. I have people dealing with ETs and everything. We're all in this together, and we all want to move forward, and this is one way to do it. It's one way, not
Yeah.
the only way, but we'll look forward to seeing all of you and having you join us. And this is going to be run on Substack and YouTube at the same time. YouTube doesn't like this,
Yay.
but
Yeah. Good.
that's there. I'm fine with that. Anyway, thank you, Danny, for joining me. I don't have to go back and show
Thank
the candles because we are going to usually I blow them out. And on the ninth day, we don't blow the candles out. We let them all burn down and we let the light go up to heaven with all of our intentions.
And and one of the things that you had mentioned in the very beginning, so correct me if I misspeak on this, but you don't, as a participant, you don't have to have nine candles. You can just have one candle.
You can have one candle and
And
light it each time, or you can have no candles. I've had people who are afraid of flames where they live, so they have the little
yes,
electric ones. They hit the button and light it, and when they're done, they turn it off. That's what my kids
do they pretend like they're blowing it out?
I don't know. My kids would like me to do that because I actually, guys, tell you what I do for nine candles. I did one and I'd gotten very cheap candles because I'm cheap. And they were apparently made in the same factory as fireworks because one of them exploded and started my desk on fire. And
Yes, please buy high quality
buy
candles.
high quality candles, put them on something that won't burn, and stay with
Yes,
them.
and have a fire extinguisher nearby if you're anywhere near
You
Nancy
should
G.
have one of those anyway. But we're the only thing we want to set afire is the universe. We want it to grow and glow. That's all.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Danny, for coming today.
All right, thank you, Nancy. Thanks, everybody.